Sorry about the raccoon eye. I was trying to do that before the camera came on. That didn't quite work out well. Anyway, I have just done an evening HPT. I know you wanted to see that. Anyway, so here's my conundrum. This is going to be my long-term trying to conceive update 45. Yes, I am 45. I haven't given up hope because I still have fairly regular cycles, so hormone levels are still there. So let's do this. And I'm going to do a quick recap really fast before I totally botch everything up. Let me see what's going on here. Okay. I'm not going to include Tuesday in there because it's ugly as well. Oh, well. Give me a second. I'm going to do something a little different here than what I planned. Let me set this up. Okay, so basically I'm going to be uploading a video after this one because it's longer and I have a lot more editing to do on it. And it's basically a Walmart run with Mom, which of course turns into a freaking fiasco, disaster, argumentative session. And I end the video back at the house and explain why we got into a big blowout argument in the middle of the Walmart parking lot because she's just rude. So pardon all the makeup and junk on my counter because this is like my work area. It's not at all like being used like a bathroom. Still going to my son's. I use my bathroom, but I go to my son's bathroom if I really need to like do my hair. Makeup I generally do in the car, so it's not a big deal. Moving on. So here is a recap of the OPKs that I had. I got to stop this and flip the camera. You know, if PayPal sends me one more effing email, I have gotten one almost every 15 minutes about still time to donate, still time to donate, still time to donate. I'm getting tired of it. It's enough. It's too much. I'm about to put them on the spam reject list. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, we just had the quickest power dropout. Like, all the power in the house goes out, comes right back on within maybe a second and a half. Not a big deal. It happens a lot here. It's not storming. It's not raining. This happens a lot, especially in the hot months. And it really irritates the crapola out of me because my laptop does not have a battery that holds a charge and hasn't for a very long time. So I pretty much have to, not chop my head off, I pretty much have to have that plugged in at all times. These are my super duper cheater readers that are like a 3.5 or something magnification. So this is what I use to look at my tests. If you see my HPT or testing crazy rituals video, it's up already. This is what I'm talking about. I got to put on this. I got my magnifying glass over here on the side. I put the two together and I figure between the two I should be able to see what the weather's like next week. That's how much magnification I got going on. Anyway, I'm going to flip this back around. Hang on. All right. So I'm going to do the quick rundown. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks ago since I did this test, because it'll be Saturday again. That would be the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, which was on a Monday. This is the day I met up with the donor, because I went, holy crap, that's positive. Because Dodo head over here, for some reason, lack of sleep, whatever, you can see the test is upside down, because the T is upside down and so is the C. This is just my preferred way of taking pictures and filming them. But I generally like to use the tests this way when I'm putting urine into my HPTs or OPKs, and these are OPKs, so that I can just put the urine in. I'm right-handed, I just do it that way, and then there's your test, and everything's in the right direction, there's a control. Okay, well, I had an amateur moment after over 10 years of doing these damn tests, and I took the one on Saturday. Let's see if I can get it to zoom a little bit better. Clear up for me. There we go. As you can see, the test line, which is over here near the P well, because the P goes in, goes to the test line, then the control. Very much darker than the control, which means it is blaring positive. I say on the video that I made, it's very close to positive, which I didn't expect, and I was kind of shocked about that. I would have been more shocked if I'd have pulled my head out of my patootie and realized that that was extremely positive. So again, I take the test the other way, and then I flip them back this way when I'm doing my filming, because I just like everything to line up this way. I don't know why. It's just how I do it. And also because of the big area here. Where's my finger? Right there. Where's my finger? I like to write my notes over there, and I didn't have anything on here. I labeled them a couple days ago, and as I went along, So let me scoot these up. My conundrum and my worry was that I don't really know what day I'm on, because generally I only get one blaring positive OPK like that, and usually that is the same day I ovulate. I will get one that the lines are almost close together, and within 12 to 24 hours it is like this, and that's usually the day effing camera. I have too many clips on here, so it just shut off on me. So generally when I get one like this where the test is that much darker than the control, that's the day I ovulate, which is usually cycle day 13 for me. I have 26-day cycles generally. They've only varied by maybe a day or so lately, just starting this year. I don't know why. Well, I'm 45. We'll leave it at that. I am taking progesterone cream. I'm doing it twice a day now, ever since I met up with the donor, which was this day, because that day when I did the OPK, if you guys watched the video and it says OPK surprise, what the hell? I changed the titles on a few of them today, so you've probably already seen it, the new titles, just because I'm trying to get things in order where they're easier to search so I can get my subscriber count up. I want people to be able to find my videos. So this is the day that I took the test, and I went, and there's a pea stain there. I went, holy crap. That's really positive, which means that's really positive. What the hell was I thinking? Because I totally said on that Saturday video, I was almost positive. No, biatch. You were very positive, and you should have called the donor that day. Luckily, he did meet up with me on this day. Now, rule of thumb for a lot of people, I've had this question a few times. People will say, well, don't you have the egg come out and ovulate as soon as your OPK goes negative? And sorry about that staining, but this was an extremely concentrated urine that I used. As you can see, there is like pert near no line whatsoever there. Let me get the phone to focus. There you go. I mean, there's some ugly staining from the urine, but there is like no line there compared to this, just like a day and a half before. And actually I've got this backwards. Sorry guys. I knew there was something throwing me off when I was putting these on the paper. Maybe you should learn to read, young lady. Reading is fundamental. So they tell me. Okay, so basically here it went. I misread this one. Didn't realize it was so positive, which definitely it is. Sunday, thankfully, was just as glaring positive. This is when I went, call the donor right now. Now, if you look at Monday, which is Memorial Day, after I met with the donor, it's very positive still. My test is still darker than my control, but not as much of a difference. It's starting to go negative, which I was thankful for. However, if you look at Tuesday is a little lighter. I don't know if you guys can tell that. Let me stop shaking my hands for a second. Give you a second. Okay, I'm holding my breath. Okay, as you can see, the test line here is slightly lighter than the control. It's going to go blurry, but if I go blurry, you can tell that the one that's the control is definitely darker. And I'll try to tune it back in. There you go. It's just barely. So I technically had, and I didn't even do Friday. Friday may have been positive with equal lines. So I potentially had maybe a Friday positive, Saturday for sure, Sunday for sure, Monday for sure, and Tuesday is when it first starts to look maybe, yep, it's fading out. And then Wednesday, totally negative. I mean, it dropped out like, yeah, I'm out of here. Deuces, which is very odd, excuse me, for me to go that quickly. So that's where I'm at on OPKs. Now here is my conundrum. Because I possibly had one on Friday that would have been positive, I just didn't test, because really I was supposed to be getting a period. I didn't get it, and I was 4 days late for it. That's the only reason I took an OPK, because I had two sitting over here and I was bored out of my mind. And so I went ahead and I took, sorry, I thought I just hit the button to shut my phone off. So I went ahead and took an OPK just because. I also took an HPT, which I don't believe, well, no, it's not in here. It's out there, but it is negative as all get out. There's nothing on that joker at all. Okay, so I'm going to move these OPKs off of this paper, and hopefully I didn't ruin the HPTs on the other side. This light is a beast, boy. I'm going to have to turn this off so I can even see to talk to you guys. Give me a second. All right, I have just literally blinded myself with that flash, and I've just taken about 4 pictures of myself because I kept pushing the wrong button on the other side of the phone. I'm filming from the reverse, and I can see myself in the mirror over there. And oh, what a dreadful sight. I am sweaty. I got suitcases under my eyes like I'm on a trip to Paris. Wish I was. And yeah, the hair, the chlorine beat me down. I've got to put some pink back in there. So anyway, catching up. So now I'm going to show you, I took another OPK today, which I will put here and show you, and it is very quite negative. Here we go. And get your hand out from in front of the camera, Jennifer. I might have to do the flash. Give me a second. All right, so this is the one that I did today because I just wanted to triple check. With all of these OPKs up here, Wednesday, obviously, just about 10 days ago, was negative for sure, finally. But I've got a good 1, 2, 3, possibly the Friday would have been positive as well. So what the problem is that is making me think, what day am I on? Because if you look at my HPTs, which are upside down, because if I had any sense, I would put them the right way. Pull ahead from the rear. Okay. So if you look at the HPTs, I've got them. See if I can get it to focus on the numbers here. Okay, that is this past Monday. We are now on Friday. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks since I took that first OPK, which is that Saturday one there. Very positive. Sunday is the one when I met up with the donor the day before Memorial Day, which will be 2 weeks tomorrow from that first OPK. So basically what I did is said I wasn't going to start testing until 8 DPO, and I was guessing because that was a very unexpected OPK up here. I should have been getting a period and did not expect to meet with the donor for another 2 weeks because I should have gone through a whole week with the period and then another week to prep up to the O. And yeah, no, this was very unexpected. I had stopped progesterone 4 days earlier and was not bleeding yet. So I was 4 days late for my period because I tested all the way to there and figured the last cycle with the donor didn't work because my test was negative. So it's in one of my older videos. Anyway, I labeled these here, as you can see. So last Monday, this past Monday of this week, would have been 8 DPO if I count from the day I was with the donor, the Sunday I was with the donor, and I just used that as my 0 mark because I had no clue what's going on with my cycle. I really don't. And I did day 9 would be Tuesday of this week, Wednesday is 10, Thursday is 11, 12A means 12 a.m., which was this morning, first morning urine. This one here at the bottom is the one I just did about 6 o'clock this evening, which I am going to mark 12E because that'll be, it's my code for myself, and it's going to let me know that this would be 12 evening. And I was going to wait 12 hours post because I used to test every 12 hours when I had a lot of those test strips from the internet, but I don't have those this cycle. So basically what I came to the conclusion of is because you typically ovulate 24 to 48 hours after you get your positive OPK. I had one on Saturday. I've been counting my DPO. Donor was here. So this would be 1 DPO. This would be 2. This would be 3 DPO. But I still had positives coming up on what I would have said is donor day, definitely positive. And again, on 1 DPO, definitely positive. If I put this into Fertility Friend on OPK mode, it's going to go from whatever my last positive OPK was, which questionably could be this one. I took this one kind of later in the evening on this Tuesday. And it's very close to positive. I think if I would have taken it a few hours earlier, it would have been positive. So technically, it could even go to here and say positive. I marked it as negative because I can slightly see the difference. Very slightly. And I was, quite frankly, sick of marking positives. But thankfully, Wednesday was very, very negative. And then today is very, very negative because I just wanted to see WTF is going on. My uterus does not have a window, and I really wish it did. Jennifer? Good Lord. Come on, Samsung. So you can see there's a second line there, but it's very faint. So today's HPT in the evening. I just looked at it now, and I looked at it earlier, thought I kind of saw something, but you can see the urine was very stained and concentrated on today's versus comparison of the others because I was drinking tons of water on the other days, even though I was doing good holds. This one we went out shopping, so I was holding for quite a while. And see if I can get close enough that you guys can see it. I might just have to include some stills behind this, but okay, there is a second kind of faint line there. Now all I can do is pray and hope, and I ask you to do the same for your girl, because yeah, it's kind of odd to me. I'm gonna just move it a little. You'll eventually see it somewhere in here because this is a very bright flash. I don't know how to tone it down. I did figure it out at one point, but now I can't see that setting anymore. It's not on my screen. But yeah, there is definitely something. A second, stop it, freaking Samsung. Right, it's right. Let me see if I can stick something there, because I know a lot of you don't use these cheapies. This is a Walmart First Signals, by the way. I just took them out of the case. It is right above here. If y'all can see that. I'm going to try to upload this on HD mode, so hopefully it'll show a little better. But I'm just going to do the tilty whirl, and then I'm going to turn the flash off. Give me a second. All right, this may not help at all, but I turned the flash off, and I'm going to try to keep this shadowing to a minimum. I got to get the camera up that way, so it might go at an angle, guys. Sorry, because that's the only way I can kind of keep the shadow off of there. It's right above the end of the tweezers there, if you can see what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to put some pictures in here. And let me flip this joker around. This is going to be the end of this update, but I just wanted to put this in really quickly because that other video, I don't know if I'll get it up tonight in time. At the very end of the Walmart shopping video, I was so irritated with what Mom did and what she said. You'll see it when it gets up, but why am I out of focus? Hello, I'm right here. Like, black girl, can't miss me. What's going on? Pink hair, come on. Anyway, I wanted to get this one up, so I'm going to get this one up. There's not going to be special effects in it and all that good goodly-goo stuff because I'm trying to just get it done. It's already longer than I intended for it to be, but I'm going to put some still shots in here before the end, so stay in here. Don't leave me. Don't leave me, Lucille, please. Yesterday, I've been taking baby aspirin every day and the progesterone cream twice a day. Morning and night, I put it on the inside of my arms. And I bumped it up to 3 times a day today, morning, noon, and tonight I'll do it again. Because yesterday, TMI moment coming. For those of you that want to click that button and get out. I'm a human, I poop. Okay. For those of you women who have ever, you know, you go to do your number 2 thing and sometimes you have a little bleeding when you wait. Not from the back end either. I'm talking about like from the hot pocket area. It's just a very vascular area, lots of vessels, and sometimes if you're straining, and I wasn't really, but anything, the pressure of just the bowels and things moving in the nether region can cause you to bleed a little bit. And it's just the vessels that are usually on the outside, like your cervical area, or, you know, maybe from inside if your lining is super thick, or, you know, it's just a little irritated with this or that. So I had a little bit of spotting yesterday, no big deal. Wasn't worried about it because, like I said, it occurred at that time. So later in the day, I had like just very light brown on the toilet paper, just peeing, residual. That's old blood. Not a big deal. I expected that. Well, late last night, I didn't go to bed till nearly 5 a.m. Late last night, probably 2 in the morning or so, went to go to the bathroom before I was going to try to lay down for the final time to go to sleep yet again. And I had more blood. I noticed it like on my pajama pants, and I was like, it wasn't like wet, but obviously I could see it. And I thought, I don't like that because it was red. So I went ahead and put the little cork in there, tampon, and overnight. Got up this morning and checked it, and there was some red on there, but the rest was very little, and it was brown. So again, I was like, okay, well, that's old blood, and the red that was there was probably from when I initially put it in. Whatever. Moving on. So then I had another one in all, you know, the afternoon while we were shopping, a good few hours there. And when I removed that one, it had a little bit of red and, you know, just barely. So I had this, if you all recall my old videos, if you've been following my long-term trying to conceive journey, LTTTC. Did I get enough T's in there? LTTT, yeah, okay. Sorry, I always have to check that, even when I type it. So basically, I had that after I met the donor the last cycle, which would have been, I guess, cycle 61, 62. I don't know, because I had some weirdness going on in there. So I don't even know if I'm on 62 or 63 right now. Fertility friend is only saying 58, which is bollocks. I can tell you that because I know for a fact I've already gone past the 60 mark. So I don't know what's up with fertility friend. I'm ignoring that part. But, and I haven't really been charting very well anyway because I'm not temping. I'm putting some things here and there. But I did start the progesterone again the same day that I met with the donor. So I've been on it almost 2 weeks. Day after tomorrow will be 2 weeks. And that should keep me from bleeding. However, it will also increase the thickness of your lining. I had to use it when I was a surrogate as an injection in my butt every day with a big old needle that I gave to myself. Thank goodness I'm not squeamish. And it hurt. That gave me hot flashes, which I do have some right now. The progesterone cream I'm using is not, it's from GNC. It is not superbly strong. I have a video on it. Check back on my site, on my channel. And basically, I mean, it's good. It's for people, premenopausal women. It's for women who have various health issues, female issues, and it's also for general health as well as menopause. Sorry. Hairball. So, I got right back on it. So the progesterone really should keep me from bleeding. Excuse me. I had the same weirdness happen between last cycle. I was just starting to test, and it was almost like I got an early period. Like right when I was starting to test, like what would have been 9 DPO or something, all of a sudden I get bleeding, and I'm like, ah. So I stopped using the progesterone. And I told the donor, doesn't look like it worked this time, so I'll have to see you, you know, in a few weeks. And I told him that maybe about 4 or 5 days after I had that initial spotting, which I thought was 9 DPO from, you know, my last OPKs last cycle and meeting up with him and getting my little cup because I was good that time. And then, trying to think back, getting old. So basically, I had the bleeding, it was spotting, and then another day of spotting, which would have been 10 DPO, and this is last cycle, and then had bleeding, like a light bleed. So, you know, like tampon pad, all that stuff overnight, just in case it got super heavy, because mine will go from that 0 to 100. For like a day or two and then back down for 5. It's a 5-day total thing. It's not that, but still that 1 day is a beast. So basically I only got the light bleed the 1 day. It went back to spotting and then nothing else. So that's why I had done pregnancy tests like way past when I normally would do them. But then I got bleeding. I told him, well, I sent him a message like 4 days in with the light bleed when it hit that day. And then I told him, hey, looks like this cycle didn't work. Hopefully you're up to try again and it'll be a couple weeks. And he's like, yeah, let me know. And yeah, nothing. The bleeding totally stopped. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe it's because of the progesterone cream I took and it might have delayed the cycle a little and messed it up. I stopped taking the cream totally and just waited, and 4 more days passed and nothing. So that's when I went ahead and took these OPKs, which are the ones you see here. So I was still expecting to have a period and not meet Mr. Man for the cup, which turned into a hookup rather than a cup because we did it the old-fashioned way because we're both single. And I got these blaring positives out of nowhere, not expected for another 2 weeks. So I got fleas. Sorry. So, yeah, that's why this cycle's so confusing. So today is either cycle day 12 DPO, which means I should start my cycle tomorrow, judging by where these ovulation things came up. If I ovulated when I met with Mr. Man, which is on the second positive OPK here. But then I got another positive here. Come on, phone. And But then I got another pause. This is before I met him, this is the day I met him, and this is the day after. So I've been counting from this day as my 0. This is 1 DPO, 2, 3, and so on, which is why these are labeled here. 8 DPO, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the problem that I'm running into with that is, quite frankly, if I go by that last positive OPK up here, which was near Tuesday, the one that's almost negative, technically I might be 4 days behind or not younger, but 4 days behind where I think I am, which means that today would not be 12 DPO. I would only be 8, maybe 9, maybe 10. It could be anywhere in this range. Because I don't know which one of these OPKs really signaled, hey, you're about to ovulate. And I didn't temp, but I'm assuming I did because I had all the little twinges and pains. So I'm not real thrilled with this bleeding thing right now, especially since I'm on progesterone. It's the most I can do right now without a prescription. And then I've got this little bit of a funky line here. I don't know if you... This effing camera will not focus where I need it. So let me put these pictures up real quick. This video has gotten much longer than I intended. Blinded by the light. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and... Why can you not focus when I turn around? Seriously, look at this oil, girl. Nobody say I got dry skin. I look like I got chicken grease on my face. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put up a couple still shots of the OPKs and then the HPTs as well. So that is my conundrum. I have no idea if today is really 12 days post-ovulation or if today is actually as early as 8 days post-ovulation. Because if I go from that last positive OPK, maybe I didn't ovulate right away. Maybe, I can't say for sure it was the day that I met up with him. So I don't know where I'm at, and the bleeding thing is just irritating the hell out of me. So I didn't take the baby aspirin today because I didn't want to encourage any more bleeding. So I'll let you know in the future, probably tomorrow, how the bleeding situation is going. I hope it just stops so I can just go through the whole cycle like normal and test like normal and have a definite answer, because I really hate being in limbo. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit that notification button, but wait for the pictures, because they're going to be right after this. See you guys on the next video. Bye.